Hey, carnivore fans, it's Holly. I'm back. I've been on Carnivore Diet for 2 weeks now, and this is going to be a summary of what's going on between days 15 to 20. So, kind of my third week on Carnivore Diet. So, here we go. So, day 15 was the day of the pork belly. Oh my gosh. Well, let me tell you, I've got to learn to cook it because yeah, I looked up how to cook it and I found directions on the internet on roasting it and then broiling it on top to make it crispy on top, which sounds nice and fun and lovely. But it didn't say how long to cook it for. So, of course, it was overdone, it was burnt on top, and it smoked up the whole kitchen. I had to open all the windows, and it's the middle of winter, so this is crazy. Yeah, I definitely need to work on my carnivore cooking skills. So, honestly, when I ate that pork belly, though, I do have to say, um, I ate the pork belly with a piece of lean pork loin and a fried egg, but honestly, I finally felt full. And I was only going to eat half of it, but I ate about 3/4 of it. And even after being on carnivore for 15 days and eating to satiety, or so it seems, there was always a little edge of hunger. And for me, that can turn into a big ledge of hunger that I can easily fall off of in the middle of the night. And it happens to me all the time. Um, but when I ate that pork belly, I just felt full. I felt like I had had a good meal and like that could just keep me for hours. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel a little nauseous afterwards, uh, just a little bit. But I also felt full and not overstuffed, just full. And so I felt like I just needed that extra little bit. Carnivore diet, if I haven't said before, the first time I tried doing carnivore diet, I just tried taking a pound of lean ground chicken and dividing it up into 3 meals throughout the day. And that's not how you do carnivore. You need the fat. You need the fat. So I did learn from that, and I'm trying to add more fat in this time. And good news is that today, day 15, is the day that I learned about high-fat carnivore diet and the 2-to-1 ratio. It turns out that it is really important for people who can't sleep through the night to eat a carnivore diet that is a 2-to-1 ratio of fat to protein. And basically, it's like 2 ounces of fat to 1 ounce of protein. So the fat nourishes the adrenal glands, and you've got to do that in order to be able to sleep through the night. So then later, once you can sleep through the night, then you decrease the fat ratio to 1-to-1. But if you're a person who can't sleep through the night, then first of all, you need to nourish your adrenals and really your whole endocrine system with a higher fat content of the food. And what you're doing with this 2-to-1 fat ratio is feeding your adrenals so they can be cool, calm, and collected. Because what do the adrenal glands do? They put out adrenaline and cortisol. And in fact, Dr. Elizabeth Bright has said, when you're going through menopause, what happens? Your ovaries shut down. Your ovaries have been making estrogen for all these years. Your ovaries shut down, and it's the adrenals that take over. And if your adrenals are all stressed out because you haven't been feeding them right for the last 20 or 30 years, well, they're going to have a real tough time pulling the weight of what they're supposed to be doing. So I got pretty excited hearing about this 2-to-1 fat ratio. And the whole point of it is this healing period of nourishing your internal organs so that they can heal. And that's going to take time. So only 2 weeks into this, but I just continue to learn more and more every day. And I'm really looking specifically for things that are going to help me with my health issues. And so I was pretty darn happy to come across this information today. So, okay, what is going on? basically, all my life, I'm a person who started dieting in adolescence, and definitely back in the 80s and the 90s, it was all low fat, and certainly did a lot of cutting calories, cutting fat. That over time, I think, was really stressful on my system. So when I read this information on the high-fat carnivore diet, it just made so much sense that really, I seem like I'm a nice, calm, cool, collected person, and I do like to be calm, and I function better in a calm environment and not a chaotic one. But truly, I feel like I'm stressed out all the time. I kind of run at this level where there's this buzz, like, zzz, like just constantly. And why? I mean, I've had a good life, really, honestly. I've had a good job, I've had good friends, I've had good family, I have a nice home. Why would I be so stressed out all the time? It's just, that's how my insides are functioning. So that is one thing I'm looking to address with doing the carnivore diet. So, yeah, okay, so looking back, I am able to piece all this together. I think truly because of all the low-fat dieting. Even when I was doing paleo, which was very successful, and I really like paleo. It's just eating lean meats, fruits, and vegetables. But that lean meat, gosh, maybe there's something to this. I'm checking out this high-fat stuff here. So, yeah, what else here? Okay, if you know my story, because I did share my story in my introductory videos, eventually, okay, I've had problems with my hunger hormones, I believe. I don't know. I always called it hypoglycemia because it felt like my blood sugars were dropping, but truly now, with a little bit of perspective, I think that it's my hunger hormone signaling that's off. So I've been having these episodes of really extreme hunger. And that's the reason why I went on a weight loss medication. It was not just to lose weight, although that would be great. Lose a couple, 10, 20 pounds, no, 30, whatever. That would be great. But the reason that I went on it is to try to address the hunger hormone signaling. And did I lose weight? No. No, of course not. I had the exact opposite reaction. I experienced rapid weight gain, and I put on about 30 pounds in 6 weeks. And I just ballooned up. I mean, I was up there. And I think after I had this rapid weight gain, then, that medication was not the way to solve my problem. And plus, even if you do lose weight, you have to be on it forever to keep the weight off. I did that for about, 8 months or something like that. And I just said, no, this is not working and it's not helping. And I can look down the road and see this is not the solution for me. So I just got off that medication. So then I had all this weight to lose. Okay. So I did. I'm very happy. I managed to lose 60 pounds. And how did I do it? I did it with the paleo diet and intermittent fasting. And it worked. I was really happy with the results. But ultimately, it's only eating small portions of lean meats, fruits, and vegetables. No added fats, no added oils, no butter, no avocado, no coconut oil during the weight loss phase. And plus adding in intermittent fasting. So I was skipping breakfast. I was only eating 2 small meals within this 8-hour window. And yeah, it works great to lose weight, but that did nothing to help my hormones or my stress levels or my sleep. That just, yeah. Okay, so, of course, at this point, 6 months, a year later, I am completely fat depleted after doing all that. And it makes sense that that's why my stress tolerance has gone from bad to worse. And I have to say, I'm really, really thrilled to find out about high-fat carnivore diet and this 2-to-1 fat ratio, because now I do have hope that I will be able to sleep through the night. I have a game plan in place to make that happen. And lucky for me, I came across this information from Coach Rebecca. And it's because I found the most valuable carnivore diet video I've seen yet, and I've seen a lot of them in only a couple weeks. This one was from Bella from Steak and Butter Gal, and she interviewed Rebecca, who does carnivore diet coaching. Yeah, I'm just very grateful that this information is out there on the internet for free, and that these people are putting themselves out there for us to learn from their experience and their expertise. And if it can help people like me, I'm just very, very, very grateful. Thank you so much. So, okay, so that was day 15. So here, day 16, what's going on? Well, oh, I was so deluded on day 16. Listen to this. This is crazy. Oh yeah, day 16, the day that the weight loss started kicking in. Oh, not. But yeah, I, for some reason, think that I lost a pound, maybe 3-4 pounds since starting carnivore. Let me tell you, that didn't stick. Okay, so I don't know why I was so excited about this, because the more I learn about carnivore, especially for people like me who started dieting at a young age during adolescence and just continued, and all of us women who lived through the 80s and 90s, we were all sold a pack of lies that we should be doing this low-fat dieting and counting calories, counting all this. It just did a disservice to all of us. And it's going to take some time to heal the damage that's been done internally with my hormone system, my endocrine system, my metabolism. So I kind of know that now. I'm a little bit farther along, but back here after only 2 weeks of looking up all this info on carnivore, and some people do have a lot of weight gain. A lot of weight loss right away, and good for them. I'm happy for them. But for a lot of women, we need to spend some time healing our internal organs and our endocrine system first before we can ever expect any weight loss that's, consequential. So, looking back here, yeah, I was all so happy because I thought that I was gonna start to stabilize, but that didn't stick. So, but the good news is I wasn't too hungry during the day. I was able to delay my meals a little bit, and this is coming from, I have always had to have my meals timed out, like every 4 hours. It's time to eat, and I do feel there has been improvement on carnivore. I'm able to space my meals out a little bit more. When I get these hunger attacks, they are not quite as severe, and they're certainly easier to break free from. It just is taking less. I have to have carbs. Basically, I can eat all the fat and protein that I want to. If I'm in a hunger attack, that's not gonna break the cycle. I have to eat some carbohydrates. And so before, that would always have to be a big hearty meal like potatoes or rice, like Thai food or Chinese food with rice or noodles, or a burrito. Like I couldn't have the naked burrito. I had to have the wrap. But now I'm able to break these hunger attacks with just a banana or 2 or 3. Okay, I had 3 bananas, but it broke the cycle. I didn't have to have a sub sandwich or something like that. So I do feel like this has been an improvement. We're not there yet. It's going to take some time, but we're on the right track. So, all right. Day 19. Well, what happened? 17, 18, I don't know. I must have been working. Things were going okay. Probably not sleeping great. Waking up in the middle of the night, which I often do. Making a meal in the middle of the night, which honestly, I did come to realize that sometimes my midnight snack is bigger than my dinner. And I realized that I probably need to eat a little bit more for dinner in order to sustain myself through the night. So Day 19, I was very tired. I only slept 2 or 3 hours the night before. And I did eat in the night. So then, of course, I wasn't that hungry in the morning. No surprise. I had coffee and I pushed through the day, as I often do. And then for lunch, I had 3 chicken thighs. The nice thing is, so I am trying to do carnivore just really, really strictly, except one thing that I have allowed myself as a treat, and that is hot sauce. And that's going really well because if you're familiar with, hot wings, they are made with Frank's Red Hot and butter. That's it. Frank's Red Hot and butter. There's not a lot of additives. There's no, dextrose or corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup in most hot sauces. So just look at the ingredients really carefully, and it just adds the flavor to my food. And I'm only a few weeks into this. Maybe I'll get stricter down the road, but at this point, I'm still doing cream in my coffee. I am doing some cheese, which I never was a big cheese eater, and hot sauce. And oh my gosh, a burger with cheese melted on top and hot sauce over it is pretty darn tasty. That's really good. And if that's what it's taking right now just to kind of get going on this, it's a big change, and so I don't mind a little bit of wiggle room. Seems to be helping. So yeah, the lunch went well, but dinner didn't turn out so well. Not at all. I thought I bought a ribeye steak, but when I cooked it, it was really super tough and gristly, and it was hard to chew, and I stopped because I felt full, but probably I was just tired of chewing this thing. And I went to bed early. I dozed off, but I woke up after 5 minutes. And my adrenaline was pumping, my heart was pounding, my stomach was rumbling. So I got up. I tried just having a couple of soft-boiled eggs with some butter, but I ended up cooking a big burger, ground beef, another egg, more butter, basically the BBE, the beef, butter, and eggs that everyone talks about. And I watched more carnivore videos, and I saw Rebecca again. So, once again, Rebecca just hit it out of the park. And she talked about healing first, which, as I said, women like me, this is what we need. We need a period of healing, which is going to be several months, couple, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6 months, I found out. And then you can try fasting later. Some people can jump right into carnivore and do the 2 meals a day intermittent fasting. But for people like me, we should not even be thinking about jumping into that. So thank you, Rebecca, for that reassurance. Very, very helpful. Yeah, she just talked a lot about the high-fat carnivore, the macro ratios, her scary personal journey. If you haven't heard Rebecca's story, I highly recommend that every lady out there go listen to what she's been through with her health issues and how difficult it was to finally find something that worked for her to heal, and that was carnivore. So I just feel like she has tons of great advice, especially for women who are doing carnivore. So she debunked the stick of butter theory that Dr. Elizabeth Bright puts out there. And I just thought, oh, that's a good thing because I haven't watched that video yet. And, but you know what, really, truly, I am enamored with the brilliance of Dr. Elizabeth Bright. And I've never heard any practitioner talk about women's hormonal issues in such a way that is both educated and well-informed and also personable. And when she talks, she sounds like as if she really knows what I'm going through. Again, another great resource that's just out there for free on the internet, and I'm so grateful to these people for putting this information and their own experiences out there to help people like me. Okay, so here we go. We're on to day 20. Okay, so day 20. Well, there's a children's book out there, and the name of the book is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. And that's what day 20 was. So, it was a bad day, but it wasn't actually that bad doing the carnivore diet, but it was just some bad things happened that reminded me of why I went on the carnivore diet to begin with and just what it is that I am looking to accomplish with this. So, it started out okay because I slept well, so that's great. But we had plans. It's the weekend. We had plans to get up and go out and do stuff. And, I just thought, well, this is no big deal because we'd already been on this trip. If you saw my last video, like we went on a weekend getaway. We got up, we went to the airport, we took a flight, we bopped around downtown and had a great time. We had no trouble finding food to eat. We had packed some snacks for the airplane. It was no problem at all. And I certainly didn't think a little weekend Saturday, running errands around town would be a big deal. Well, think again. So here's what happened. Yeah. So what happened is when I got hungry in the middle of the night last night and I made the BBE meal, the beef, butter, and eggs, well, that's what I was going to have for breakfast. So I got up in the morning and I had nothing ready to go for breakfast. So then I'm scrambling around trying to figure out what to have. We're out of eggs. I put some pork in the air fryer, but pork takes longer to cook than beef that I had planned to have. It was kind of lean pork. I didn't want it to dry out. So I was kind of watching it while it was cooking, and it was just this big ordeal where breakfast wasn't ready. I was running late. Getting things ready to go, getting water. I didn't get my water ready the night before. The day fell apart from the get-go. So then coming home was kind of the same thing. I had some leftover pork loin. It was lean and kind of dry, and I tried covering it up with butter and pairing it with some pork belly for the fat. But then that was undercooked because the first one that I cooked, I overcooked it and burnt it. So this one was undercooked. So then I had to cut it into little pieces, pop it back into the air fryer, and it just took forever to get a decent dinner made. And it really wasn't very good. And honestly, at this point, I think I'm going to give up on the pork belly and also pork chops, and also pork loin, because really, I'm kind of porked out right now. So, the reason that I say that this was a bad day, it's not because I'm giving up on pork and just gonna focus on beef and lamb. I actually keep hearing a lot more and more about how good beef and lamb are because they come from ruminant animals. That's what people on the lion diet eat. And if you don't know what the lion diet is, it's basically eating only meat from ruminant animals that have multiple stomachs that break down the food they eat. So essentially, the theory is that these animals like, cows, elk, bison, goats, sheep, they have a series of stomachs that break down the grass or alfalfa or hay or whatever it is that they're eating, and they filter out a lot more of the toxins that are harmful to us. So people who do the lion diet say that they get excellent results in healing, especially from autoimmune conditions. So this is all very interesting. I just love learning, delving into the carnivore diet, and I thought, honestly, when I started this, I thought, okay, so you eat meat. Like, how could there be 100,000 videos out there waiting to be watched? Because the carnivore diet just touches every aspect of life, and whatever health issue you're dealing with, I'm sure someone has had an experience with the carnivore diet and put together a video that's waiting for you to watch it. So that's what I've been doing. So I decided I'm not going to do the lion diet. It just is, in fact, can vary doesn't even recommend it when you're new to carnivore. He says that you should be on a carnivore diet for a year before you start something even more restrictive like the lion diet. So good for Dr. Ken Berry. That's a good advice. Thank you. So I think it's fine to focus on beef and lamb. I mean, a lot of people don't even eat pork for religious or cultural reasons. The meat is seen as unclean, and that's because a pig will eat anything, not like a cow or a sheep that has a very strict diet. They want grass. So I don't think it's bad to, give up the pork and just focus on beef and lamb. But I'm going to keep eating eggs, chicken, turkey, cream, occasionally cheese. At this point, I'm not looking to be super strict. I'm just looking to get a solid foundation. It's a big change, taking out fruits and vegetables and only going to meat. And so if I want some cream in my coffee and I want some cheese melted on my burger, I'm just going with that for now. We'll see how this goes down the road. So I may make additional changes later, but just for right now, I think it's fine. I think this is a huge change. It's definitely a step in the right direction, and these changes aren't going to happen overnight. So I'm just enjoying that. So no, the reason that I say overall that it was a bad day is just because so much of the day was disrupted by my food needs. And for a long time, I've been unable to just grab and go. And I have to plan things carefully, pack all my food up, I know what I'm going to have, or else things just descend into chaos. So, my meals have to be on time. They have to be the right composition. It impacts my social interactions, and just having to plan my life around food instead of planning food around my life. I will go into more detail in another video about how all of this really spiraled downhill in the past year leading up to my decision to start the carnivore diet. But that's really it. That's what it boils down to, is the need to manage my food is really starting to disrupt my life in a way that it never has before. And I thought maybe the carnivore diet would kind of ease that up, because it is simple. It's simple when you're just eating meat. But I can tell it's going to take some planning and forethought. And it takes commitment. So definitely the preparation factor. That's something to work on. So I do see the carnivore diet as a way to end that disruption in my life. Yes, carnivore is restrictive in the sense that I'm no longer eating a big entree salad, which is easy to find at a lot of restaurants. Maybe I have to cook ahead and have meals packed to go. But in a sense, carnivore is easy because it's simple. You know what you're going to eat ahead of time. And I definitely need some cooking skills. So I do need to have more food on hand. And for a long time, I've just been able to kind of, whatever we had for dinner the night before, we made extra, and that was my leftovers. I would just take for lunch, and pretty much cooking a lot of fresh meals and not having a lot of food stocked up in the freezer. But I can tell that I'm going to need to pre-cook food and have my own meals in the freezer ready to grab and go when I need to go out for the day and get stuff done. So I do believe that once things settle down and I'm able to stabilize on this and feel more even keel, then I think that things will settle down and I'll be able to eat food less frequently. And that's where this is headed. And I'm looking forward to the healing that's going to take place. It's definitely a journey. So let's just get going and get there. Thanks.